Hey guys, this is Gabby from The Savvy Professor. In today's video, I will discuss the differences between Consumer Price Index and Personal Consumption Expenditure. Watch till the end to know the final verdict on how they compare, but first, let's start with the differences. So, the main difference between them is their coverage. The Consumer Price Index represents the spending patterns of urban households and is updated monthly by the Bureau of Labor Statistics (BLS). It is widely used to track changes in the cost of living for consumers and is a key indicator of inflation. On the other hand, Personal Consumption Expenditure covers a broader range of consumption expenditures, including those by households, businesses, and governments. It reflects spending patterns across different income groups and geographic regions. In addition, it is updated quarterly as part of the National Income and Product Accounts (NIPAs) released by the Bureau of Economic Analysis (BEA). Personal Consumption Expenditure therefore provides a more comprehensive measure of consumption. Frequency of updates. Consumer Price Index is typically updated monthly by the Bureau of Labor Statistics (BLS). It provides timely information on changes in consumer prices and is widely used by policymakers, businesses, and investors to monitor inflation. Personal Consumption Expenditure is updated quarterly as part of the National Income and Product Accounts (NIPAs) and released by the Bureau of Economic Analysis (BEA). While it provides a comprehensive measure of consumption, the PCE is less frequently updated than the CPI. Therefore, the Consumer Price Index provides timely information on changes in consumer prices. Treatment of housing costs. The Consumer Price Index uses a rental equivalence approach to measure the cost of home ownership, which is based on the amount a homeowner would pay to rent their home. This approach aims to capture the implicit rental income that homeowners forego by living in their own homes, thus reflecting the cost of shelter for homeowners. On the other hand, Personal Consumption Expenditure uses an owner's equivalent rent approach, which measures the change in the amount of rent that would have to be paid to substitute a currently owned house. This approach focuses on the cost of providing housing services, regardless of whether the homeowner occupies their own home or rents it out. Therefore, Personal Consumer Expenditure would be more appropriate if you want to examine the total expenditures on housing services, irrespective of ownership status. But do they have any similarities? Yes, they're similar in that both aim to measure inflation, tracking changes in the prices of goods and services consumed by Americans. Moreover, they're both influenced by similar macroeconomic forces like changes in consumer preferences, shifts in production, and global events. To sum up, how do they compare? Consumer Price Index versus Personal Consumption Expenditure. I was inclined to choose the Consumer Price Index as it follows a fixed weight formula. Moreover, it is easier to understand as it focuses on urban consumers' direct expenses. However, I like Personal Consumption Expenditure as it employs a chain weight formula, allowing for dynamic adjustments that reflect shifting consumer preferences. In addition, the Federal Reserve prefers it as its primary indicator of inflation because temporary price fluctuations influence its patterns less. Therefore, Personal Consumption Expenditure is the overall winner. Thanks for watching!